to the teachings of the Holy Quran, we see one verse in the Quran speaks about those who come from other faiths. The Jews, the Christians, the Sabi'a, the Sabians, for example, the people of the book. The Quran says those people of the book who are honest, who are truthful, who believe in their faith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive them and God will grant them paradise. That's one verse in the Quran, and you have multiple verses which say this. On the other hand, you have a verse that says the only religion with God is Islam. How do you reconcile between these two verses? One is saying the Jews and the Christians and the Sabians, God will forgive the good ones and take them to paradise. One verse says, Inna ad-deena 'inda Allah al-Islam. The true religion with God is Islam. We believe, as the Quran teaches us, that all prophets of God were Muslim. In what sense? What is the meaning of a Muslim? Can someone help us out? Submission. I remember I was once on a plane from Detroit going to New York for a speaking ceremony. So I was wearing my religious attire and this American man was sitting next to me. So when he realized I was a Muslim, he had a lot of misconceptions. And you know, the media plays a major role. He was completely brainwashed. He told me, your religion is an evil religion. On the plane. This is about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I told him, and why is that? He says, because your God, Allah, He wants submission from you. That's all He wants. He wants submission, and He's obsessed with submission, submission, submission. I told him, okay, can I ask you a question? Do you believe in Jesus? He said, yes. I told him, what does Jesus want from you? To submit to Him or not to submit to Him? He thought, he says, no. He wants me, obviously, to submit to His teachings. I told him, so what's the difference? Submission, 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 you're doing the same thing. You have a problem with the word submission, with the word Islam. What, did Jesus say? I have these teachings. Do whatever you want. Don't even take my teaching. Don't submit to my teachings. Just know them, keep them in your mind, and that's it. Don't act upon them. Of course He wants submission. Submission means that you allow your heart to follow it. That's what Islam means. In this sense of the word, all prophets of God were Muslim. That's why the Holy Quran tells us about Ibrahim. Abraham was a Muslim. And he told his sons, Isaac and Ismail alayhi salam, Ishmael, he told them, وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Die as Muslims, meaning you submit to the Almighty God. Don't object to Him. Don't reject His laws and rulings and His religion. Accept His faith. So Islam means acceptance, submission. Hence, in this sense of the word, all prophets of God were Muslim. Now, we believe that the true faith, true Christianity, which was preached by Jesus, was the correct faith. And anyone who abides by that faith, who followed the true teachings of Jesus, was saved and will go to paradise. The same applies to Moses. The same applies to prophets Abraham and Noah and all these other prophets of God. But here's the thing. As humanity progressed and as humanity advanced, God sent them the final, most comprehensive religion. Meaning that previous religions, while they're valid, but in a sense, now you have to move on to a newer stage. Can you stay in elementary school for life and say, no, I want to stay in elementary school, it's good for me? No, you have to move on. If you don't move on, you'll miss out, you'll lose. You have to move on. Go to junior high, then high school, and then go to college. Islam represents that final stage. So God did not reveal Islam as a religion from day one because humanity wasn't ready for it. Do you take your kids to college when they're 7? Of course not. Because they're not prepared for it. They're not ready for it. You have to prepare them. So God sent all these faiths, Christianity, Judaism, the Abrahamic faiths, to prepare humanity. Once humanity was now well prepared, then God sent the final religion, the final stage. And He completed and continued all those other religions. Once God sent the final religion, we believe that those who heard the message of Prophet Muhammad and they had a chance at seeing it, and they accepted the message, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive them and take them to paradise. Those who did not hear about the Prophet's message, you live in a society completely disconnected, you had no chance to discover Islam, to read about Islam, to read about the Quran, the teachings of the Prophet, and let's say someone dies that way. God will retest that person. You can't say that this person did not die as a Muslim, automatically going to hell. No. The Quran rejects this idea. Yes, the one who heard the message of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he saw the truth in that message, and he stubbornly rejected, knowing that it is the truth. Just like the Quran tells us, the Pharaoh, he knew Moses was speaking the truth, but he stubbornly rejected. Those who stubbornly reject, yes, these people die as unbelievers and they'll be punished by God because they saw the truth and they defied Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.